Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We all know about the riots going on in France. It's been going on for nearly a week now. This is all over a young immigrant who was shot by a French policeman. And the people rioted, and then they rioted, and then they rioted some more. And they're still rioting. Tensions are high. Meanwhile, Macron has basically just disappeared. He's lost all credibility. Nobody's listening to him. He is hiding. He's frit. He doesn't know what to do. Someone who is capitalising on this, of course, is Marine Le Pen. She is making good. She is making hay while the sun shines, because she is now seen as the only credible alternative to Macron. Because you're getting these immigrants that are destroying everything in France. They're saying, look, we're here, we want better things, we want this, and we're going to keep rioting until we get them. You can put out all the policemen in France. It isn't going to make a difference because you're not getting to the core issue. Because Macron has created this sense of entitlement amongst the immigrants in France. Because nobody stood up and said, no, this much, this line, no further. And so they keep pushing across and pushing and pushing and pushing. This wouldn't have happened had Marine Le Pen been in charge. It would have been shut down day one. She is probably going to reap a hell of a reward. Now, of course, what's happened since then is that the riots have extended and grown. It all seems to be French because they've gone next door into Belgium. And there's rioting in Belgium now, and these things are high in Belgium, and Belgium is a powder keg at the moment. But it's also, and this is astounding, it's also happening in Switzerland. Switzerland is the most peaceful nation on the planet, and yet they are having riots. I wouldn't have thought there was so many immigrants in Switzerland, but apparently so. And of course, it's on the French side, on the western side of Switzerland. That they are having these riots. And it's just like, what? So Lucerne, obviously it's over on the left, and they're having these big riots, but again, it's all the French-speaking side. Now, if they don't jump on this, the Swiss and the Belgians, it will spread all over Belgium, all over Switzerland. Switzerland won't know what's hit it. It's never had anything like this. But of course, what you've got is you've gone from France, and Belgium's to the north, but you've gone from France to Switzerland's next. Well, Switzerland is on the Italian border. And if it goes in there, it's going to be a whole different ball game. Things will massively change because they're dealing with Meloni. And she is a right-wing firebrand. She will not put up with this. She will call in the army. People will suffer. But she'll bring an end to it. These people maybe don't know what they've got in the form of Meloni. And the thing is, and this is where it's good, I say good's entirely the wrong word, but this is where an example could be set, should I say, that if they do start rioting in Italy, and Meloni does go in hard with force to end it immediately, then the people in France will see that. And the next presidential election will almost guarantee Marine Le Pen will become president. And then France will change forever. It's things like this. The world can change in a few days. And this could be it. Now I'm going to take a look at an article here just to show what's happening. But it's from a very unusual source. I've had to go to the Indian Express. Because mainstream newspapers aren't carrying this explosion across Europe. They aren't telling you really much about Belgium or Switzerland because they're trying to contain it and to kettle it. But if they don't kettle it quickly, it's going to spread across the whole of Europe. My God, if Switzerland can have it, anywhere can have it. It's going to be like a disease, like a virus, and it will spread. And it may even spread to the UK. So somebody needs to jump on it quickly. Anyway, we'll take a look at this. We'll see the story and see what's going on. It's just an amazing set of effects. What is truly amazing, of course, is the fact that the mainstream media are not showing you. Anyway, here goes. Right, so it's rather telling, though. I had to go to another continent to get news about things in France, Belgium, and Switzerland because the mainstream media in the UK just simply isn't really covering it. There's so little of it around because I think they just deliberately are trying to quell and quash the news so that it doesn't spread to the UK. Perhaps I don't know, but it seems very weird. But anyway, good on the where is it? Good on the Indian Express. They have covered it, so we'll have a look at this. France riots, live news updates. Violence eases as the grandmother of teen shot by police calls for calm. And it has started. They have had a night of calm last night, but it wasn't entirely calm. It was just calmer. It was just a little bit less. But the neighbouring countries of Switzerland and Belgium also witnessed unrest in the echo of violence in France. Fewer than 160 people were arrested overnight in connection to riots that have rocked cities across France. So the lowest number of arrests for quite some time now, with only 160. This is following the killing of a teenager of North African descent by a police officer. And on a side note, a GoFundMe was set up. The officer is going to be charged with culpable homicide, basically. And a GoFundMe's been set up to pay for his defence. And it's already raised over €1 million. Now, that is just astounding. It goes to show that there is a deep problem in France that people will be so willing to pay for this cop's defence so quickly. And this is why I think Marine Le Pen will suddenly become very, very popular. Macron, of course, his name is now mud. He is absolutely astounded how fast he's fallen. He has lost all power almost immediately over this because he failed to act. Coward. Absolute coward. Anyway, the relative calm, this is last night, the relative calm following 5 nights of heavy riots offered some relief to the government of Emmanuel Macron in its, that's just jumped update, in its fight to regain control of the situation. The grandmother of the teenager also pleaded for rioters to stop. Meanwhile, and here's the bit you're not seeing, meanwhile, the neighbouring countries of Switzerland and Belgium also witnessed unrest in the echo of violence in France. On Saturday, several shop windows in the Swiss city of Lucerne were smashed as officers dispersed youths who threw paving stones and Molotov cocktails at them, and police said. And meanwhile, on Thursday, about a dozen people were detained in the Belgian capital, Brussels, and several fires were brought under control. French President Emmanuel Macron postponed a state visit to Germany that was due to begin yesterday due to the unrest in France. Macron spoke on the phone on Saturday with German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier. Because the German president is virtually powerless. He's a figurehead. It's the Chancellor of Germany is the one with power. Anyway, briefed him on the situation. Basically said, look, we've got a terrible thing. We can't come and, sorry about that. But of course, I'm sure the French president and the French Chancellor, the German Chancellor and President absolutely know that the French president is literally up a gum tree without a paddle. He's in shit creek, isn't he? So we've just got a whole load of things there. But it's just it's the stretch over that it's going into Belgium. It's going into Switzerland. And like I say, Switzerland, a country that's never had any kind of problems like this. Belgium has, but Belgium's got awful internal problems anyway. It seems to be a virus of disaffected youth. All immigrants. It's an immigrant issue because of the massive problems that they have in these countries because of the massive immigration that they allowed to happen, but without integration. And that's what happened. And they basically, these people ghettoise themselves. They form these ghettos. Then they realise that the ghettos are shit and they want better. But they made them. They all crowded together, say, oh, we'll all live together. It'll be great. And then it all goes shit. And then they all say, oh, why is it shit? You made the ghetto. Nobody makes ghettos. The people who live in the ghettos make the ghettos. That's the problem. And they don't accept it, but it's true. But, this is going to spread. And I tell you, if it spreads to Italy, there's going to be major changes in Europe almost overnight. Interesting to keep this on. But what is truly amazing, though, is, as I say, you're not seeing this anywhere else in the mainstream media. Who knows why? Anyway, I'm going to stop there, come up and we'll round off. Good old times of India then. Thank you for bringing the news to Europe. But you've got to think, if it's... Where's next? I mean, the Netherlands, possibly? The Dutch? They're not above it. Probably not in Poland. Got to be honest. Germany, yeah. Poland, no. Denmark, given their problems, most likely. Sweden, probably. I mean, these are places that have got powder kegs. They could well have massive problems. So it'll be interesting to see where next on this this sort of burning Europe, as we can call it. But let's hope not UK. But we tend to be UK tends to be the least difficult for things like that. Far more integration, I think, in Britain than anywhere else. But it doesn't mean it won't happen. Anyway, I'll stop there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, do please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and stay out of trouble. And goodbye.